Are you just exhausted?
Oh.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
No, I think it's just you. But
hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposing SMG. You guys asked for another Cara Delevingne video, so of course I had to deliver. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about her strange behavior at the Billboard Music Awards with Megan The Stallion, how she tried to kiss Megan at the club a few days before, Julia Fox saying that Cara was wasted and pushing past security to get on stage when Azealia Bank was performing, as well as Cara's weird behavior that has gotten ignored throughout the years. If you haven't watched my most recent video about Cara yet, make sure to watch that right after you finish watching this one. And by the end of this video, I need you guys to answer this question. Was Cara Delevingne always rude and strange, but her behavior only escalated because no one stopped her? You'll see how Cara's interesting behavior throughout the years has gotten applauded for, and if that had to do with her downfall of a respected name in the industry. Cara was also noted as the anti-celebrity, which I'll discuss later in this video. But first, gather up, get your tea, and let's talk about how people believe that Cara was fetishizing black women, trying to one-up them to steal their shine, and how if her behavior was done by a man, it wouldn't be passed around as a joke. One user took to Twitter to say, "Do people realize what Cara was doing last night was fetishizing and dehumanizing black women?" Another wrote, "Cara Delevingne is weird. Please stop fetishizing black women." People are also starting to wonder if Megan and Cara are actually friends because they were spotted leaving a hotel together and Megan smilingly tells Cara, "Come on, girl!" What do you guys think? I don't know if I would go all the way to say that she's dehumanizing and fetishizing black women because that belittles the actual definition of those words when all it was Cara tossing around Megan's dress on the red carpet and just being all up in her face. But I don't blame people saying that because when you start taking into account everything she was doing, it gets weirder than just a funny prank on the red carpet. For example, a few days before the Billboard Awards, Megan and Cara were in a club where Cara was all up in Megan's face and it seemed like she was trying to kiss Megan, but Megan kept dodging her. At one point, you see Cara leaning into Megan's chest and Megan subtly backing her away with her hands. What do you guys think? Why do you think that Megan is putting up with Cara? Because Megan goes from looking uncomfortable to looking joyful around Cara. And I feel like that's confusing everyone right now. There was also this video of Cara getting up on stage while Azealia Bank was performing and just being all up in her face. I find this one more bizarre than the Megan situation. I also included that clip in my last video, but we didn't really discuss it and I felt like it got overshadowed by the Megan videos, but don't you worry, I got the whole backstory for that and I'm ready to share with you guys. As you can see, Cara gets up on the stage with Azealia as she's performing and she's just staring at her, trying to talk into the mic, and she's dancing up all on her. She then takes the mic from her and Azealia looks at her like, "What the hell?" Then Cara starts saying some things and Azealia looks clearly uncomfortable, as you can see here, and then she tries to grab the mic away from her a few times until she gets it back by the end of the clip. Now this video was actually recorded by Julia Fox, who is a whole other story on her own. Julia actually had more to say about that video on a podcast. As you can see, Cara is all up on the floor while Azealia is performing, acting like a salivating dog with her tongue out. She then just stands there while Azealia is trying to perform. On Nikki Takesh and Julia Fox's podcast, Forbidden Fruits, Nikki says, "The craziest thing happened. We were watching Azealia Banks and we looked to the side of the stage, we were up close in the front, and we see this person trying to keep pushed past, rushing past security." Julia then recalls that after security wouldn't allow Cara near Azealia, Cara moved to the front of the stage to get Azalea's attention. Julia said, "We realized very quickly that Cara is wasted. It was so crazy. I could tell by Azalea's face, she was over it. She was like, okay, let me have my moment." Julia then calls Cara's behavior thirsty. Which I agree with, but Julia girl, do not let me get started on you. I feel like that interaction would have made headlines for harassment if it was a man or if it was someone who isn't famous. Imagine trying to push past security to crash a performance. And this happened in October 2021, and it's only now being talked about 7 months later because it resurfaced after Cara's strange behavior at the Billboard Awards. One user took to Twitter to say, "I'm sorry, but I have to add Cara Delevingne to my list of blocked topics. Not only is she putting black women in awkward situations by behaving like this, but her behavior makes me feel uncomfortable as a black woman. Like, is she incapable of treating black women with respect?" At some point during the performance, Cara drunkenly falls off the stage, needing help to get up again, as you can see. That's when Cara and Azealia end up sharing a rather awkward hug at the end of Azalea's performance, as Cara kept bowing down to her after she got up from the floor. What do you guys think about this? What I see is that it seems like Cara has a drinking problem. When talking about Cara's behavior, I feel like it's important to bring up this video from 2015 where Cara was interviewed for her movie Paper Towns while on a promotional press tour for the movie. Right off the bat, she's very irritable, and she doesn't seem to want to participate in the interview. She answers questions with such an over-it face and attitude.
Joins us live from New York City to talk about Paper Towns. Cara, good morning.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
We're doing all right. Nice to have you here. So the movie is based on a best-selling book by John Green. You play Margot.
She's rolling her eyes, making snarky and sarcastic remarks, and the entire interview was just pitiful to watch to the point where it even ended early.
What do you like about Margot?
I'm living my dream.
Specifically, do you have anything in common with her?
No, I actually hate her. Yeah, I mean, of course, we have a lot in common.
The interviewers are trying to lighten the mood by making jokes and later even asking her if she's doing okay or if she's tired. And she did not like that question.
Now, with that said, I saw you in London talking a couple weeks ago on TV, and you seemed a lot more excited about it than you do right now. Are you just exhausted?
No, I mean, I'm still very excited.
She answered very dryly to everything, which made them end the interview early, and then Cara clicked off without saying anything.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
Yeah, I think it's just you.
I think it probably is us. Well, then on that note,
We figured as much.
we'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about that?
Cara Delevingne, thank you so much for your time. Paper Towns coming out too. She's also in that Taylor Swift video, Bad Blood. Everybody probably recognizes her from that as well.
Yes, rush out and see it, won't you?
It's a good movie. That's so funny. Let's tune in and see what you... Oh, with the bars.
Wow, she was in a mood.
After Cara left, the interviewers were pretty much in shock, just discussing the encounter afterward.
I don't know. I think she was just a little irritated. I mean, these guys, they sit through all these interviews from 800 TV stations, but still.
You make $5 million
Jeez.
for 6 weeks worth of work. You can pretend to talk to Good Day Sacramento with some oomph.
At the time that this drama happened, everyone was siding with Cara, calling the interviewers unprofessional and making excuses for her behavior. Like I said, she was branded as the anti-celebrity, whatever that means. But looking back at that now and taking into account that Cara hasn't been cast in anything important since, shows me that people probably don't like working with her. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones was one of the few people commenting on this drama back in the day. He said, "It was unprofessional. It made her seem ungrateful. She showed her age. For Cinderella, I did 6 weeks of those interviews where you get asked the same 8 questions. If you're not capable of doing that gracefully, then don't do it." He brings up a very interesting point about promotional tours because one thing many of you guys may not know is how promoting is a big part of a celebrity's job, and whether or not they are able to agree to a promoting schedule heavily influences what projects they partake in. This is something that I want to talk about on my blog, exposingsmg.com, so be on the lookout for that post to drop soon. Anyway, Cara then took to Twitter to add him and say, "I have no idea who you are, but I think it's a little desperate for a grown man to be bad-mouthing someone they don't know." She then retweeted a meme of the infamous fight between Miley Cyrus and Nicki Minaj, saying, "Richard, what's good?" Richard ends up saying, "Hi Cara Delevingne, nothing but respect for you, misquoted and blown out of proportion, hashtag slow news week," to which she replies saying, "Thanks for clearing that up, I should have realized." Personally, I feel like he said nothing wrong. Cara was unprofessional and rude, but that seems to have manifested for her in a unique way as we see today. At the time, she was egged on and hailed as a quirky and relatable model, with BuzzFeed saying, "Many other celebrities would try to hide any irritation to avoid affecting their public image, but not our girl Cara, she says it how it is." What? I don't even know how they got approval to publish that. It sounds like many celebrities are being fake by being professional at work-related events that they are getting paid for, but no, not our girl Cara, she's condescending for free. So BuzzFeed wrote that article in 2016 where they praised Cara for being the anti-celebrity, and looking back at it, it just looks like a paid PR article because there was no depth to it. She was called quirky and relatable for being in a forest naked. She was cited as one of their ultimate faves because she's open and honest about her sexuality, quoting her saying that she's gay because she's too crazy for men. Like, what does that mean? I could describe her behavior with women as crazy too, but that's just me. They also mentioned how cool she is for being a member of the Mile High Club, where she said, "I've had sex in planes a lot, but I've always been caught. It's super hard not to get caught." Wow, so quirky. What do you guys think about Cara Delevingne? Do you think we are watching the downfall of Cara? Do you think she's relevant enough to have a downfall? How do you think her role on season 2 of Only Murders in the Building as Selena Gomez's love interest is going to play out? Do you guys want a video on Selena and Cara's weird relationship? Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow us on our social media. Be sure to like and subscribe for more weekly content. And as always, I'll see you next time.